Welcome back. We are still on the topic statistics. In the previous video, we learned some basic things about a frequency distribution table. In this video, we are going to learn how to construct an ungrouped frequency distribution table for a given data. Let's consider this question. The ages of 20 students in a class are given below. So we have the ages of 20 students here. We have been asked to construct a frequency distribution table for the data above. The frequency distribution table we are going to construct for this data will be an ungrouped frequency distribution table. So let's see how to go about it. We have the data here. These are the ages of the 20 students. In the previous video, we learned that a simple frequency distribution table has 3 columns. The first column will contain the max, the second one will contain the tally, and the third one will contain the frequency. And we also learned that the max is the item under consideration. For this particular data, what we are considering is the ages of students in a class. So the max will be the ages. So the first column of the table will contain the ages, the second column will contain the tally, and the third column will contain the frequency. So you have a table of 3 columns. The number of rows will depend on the different ages that we have in the data. From our data, we can see that if we pick a student from the class, the student will either be 10 years old, 11 years old, 12 years old, 13, 14, 15, or 17. These are the different ages that we have in the data. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in number. So we have 7 different ages. When we construct the table, the first row will contain the heading and the remaining rows will contain the different ages that we have. We have 7 different ages and the first row will contain the heading. So when we add that first row to the 7 that we already have, we are going to have 8 rows. So it means that we are going to construct a table that has 3 columns and 8 rows, and that is exactly what we have here. The first row will contain the heading. So you have the age here, you have the tally here, and you have the frequency. Then after that, we will list the different ages that we have in the first column. Remember that when we are listing the ages, we will do that in ascending order. That is from the smallest to the highest. So the first one will be 10, the second one will be 11, the third one will be 12, the fourth one will be 13, the fifth one will be 14, the sixth one will be 15, and the seventh one will be 17. We have now completed the first column. Let's move on to the second column, which is the tally. From the previous video, we learned that the tally is a count of the marks, and each mark is represented with a stroke. Here, the marks are the ages of the students. So we will go through the data one after the other, and we will count the number of students that corresponds to each age. Remember that we use a stroke to represent each count. So let's begin. The first one is 10. So the age 10 will have 1 stroke. I'm going to cancel it out so that you can see that we have counted it. The next one is 12. So the age 12 will have 1 stroke. The next one is 11. So the age 11 will have 1 stroke. The next one is 13. So the age 13 will have 1 stroke. The next one is 14. So 14 will have 1 stroke. The next one is 11. So the age 11 will have another stroke. The next one is 10. So the age 10 will have another stroke. The next one is 15. So 15 will have 1 stroke here. The next one is 10. So 10, you have 1 stroke here. The next one is 12. So 12, you have 1 stroke here. The next one is 14. So 14, you have 1 stroke. The next one is 12. So 12 will have another stroke. The next one is 10. So 10 will have another stroke. The next one is 13. So 13 will have another stroke here. The next one is 15. So 15 will have another stroke. The next one is 17. So 17 will have 1 stroke. The next one after that is 11. So 11 will have another stroke. The next one is 12. So 12 will have another stroke here. The next one is 14. So 14 will have another stroke. And the last one is 10. When we look at the tally for 10, we already have 4 strokes. So the fifth one will be used to cross the 4 that we already have. So we have gone through the data and we have counted the number of students that corresponds to each of these ages. We are now done with the tally. Let's move on to the third column, which is the frequency. From the previous video, we learned that the frequency is the tally that we have for each mark. So here, the frequency will be the tally that we have for each age. For age 10, the tally is 5. For age 11, the tally is 3. For age 12, the tally is 4. For age 13, the tally is 2. For age 14, the tally is 3. For age 15, the tally is 2. And for age 17, the tally is 1. I'm going to clean the ink that we have on the page so that you can see the table clearly. So this is a simple frequency distribution table for the data that was given to us. This is an example of an ungrouped frequency distribution table because we used the individual marks that was given to us in the data to construct the table. We did not group the marks into intervals before constructing the table. So when you use the individual marks in the data to construct a frequency distribution table, the table you have constructed is known as an ungrouped frequency distribution table. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to this channel for more videos. In the next video, we are going to solve another question on constructing an ungrouped frequency distribution table for a given data. Bye-bye.